Yeah.
And I didn't know it. I thought it was not the making some Thank you. It's like the window that I don't know. Well, and the chairs are done just enough to make it straight for any other.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? I don't know how to do that. I did not go to Act One, so I don't know how to do this as well as everyone else. For those of you that don't know me, I am Alex Cordaro's wife and daughter-in-law to Karen Cordaro. So I have a different perspective on things, maybe, than some of you, being the daughter-in-law. I should probably preface it with I was pretty lucky when I caught her as a mother-in-law. And she was, I don't know anything about your theater world other than it enriched the lives of my children and my family beyond any measurable amount. I just know Karen as a force of nature and a friend and a mentor and incredibly frustrating at times for me, incredibly compassionate, and a teacher to a young mother with young kids. She gave us so much. I'm trying not to be too emotional and I want to keep it light, so I'll just try and tell you a little story about me before children and Alex and our home, which was always really tidy and really small. And we live in South Philadelphia in a very small house, and as such, everything in our house had a place for everything. Everything has a place. And we had Thomas, and then we had Max, and Tom and Karen would come to visit us quite often to help us out, because we were both working around the clock trying to figure out how to be parents and how to do this whole thing. And I, of course, had my spices alphabetized, and our ice was dusted, and there were hospital corners, and everything was exactly where it was supposed to be. And Karen, who dubbed herself Whoopi, took the name Whoopi upon the birth of her first grandchild, and Tom would arrive with bags and suitcases of stuff. And like I can't even describe all the stuff. And I can't describe the stuff because they would arrive and I would run out the door and go to work. And I'd leave my perfectly organized home. And I would come back and there would be paint. And there would be books open, but not one book, like 5 books open. And there would be 4 projects started. And then she'd be teaching Thomas at age 2 and Max, like crawling around, how to get the very little last piece of icing out of the icing container, and how to eat it after they had decorated all these great cookies. And the place would be a mess. And I would have these panic attacks. I'd be like, oh my God, how's the house ever going to go back and be the way it was? And what she taught me over the years is that it never is, and that it's not supposed to be, and that all the great things that happen when you have a family it's a mess, right? And all the things that don't go back to the way they are. And she taught me a lot about letting go and knowing what's important, and that, your spices can be in the wrong order. It'll be okay. I mean, they're kind of getting back in order now that the kids are older. But the other thing Karen would do that didn't necessarily enrich our lives is that she would break something. Like every time she came, she would I'd come home from work, Alice would come home from work, and like the water would be shooting out the side of the sink, and Alice would be like, my mom did the dishes, or like the door would be hanging off a hinge, and she'd be like, my mom shut the door. And at some point during their youth, those Hulk hands that you could put on and then you get hit and they would go smash, like the kids had it. So we started calling her Hulk hands and told her anytime we got something new that she wasn't allowed to touch it, for obvious reasons. But what Karen really did for me is like, she was like fix a flag. I'm creative, but not super creative like she is. And she was like I felt like she was my fix-it-flag. Every time I had to leave my kids, which I didn't want to do, but I loved my career, she told me it would be okay. And I knew it would be okay because her kids turned out okay. And she did that. She worked, and she worked hard, and she believed in what she did, and she told me to do that. And she said, it'll be okay. Your kids are going to be okay. But she made it better because she was like that soothing balm, that Band-Aid that, I knew something was going to be broken, but it wasn't going to be my kids, when I got home. And she would come for these visits, and when she left, like, my children and my husband and my home and my life were just in a much richer place. because of her, and Tom, and the whole family, and Kate and Kevin and Marcus, and Danny, and Tyrone, and everyone. But anyway, I wouldn't be a good daughter-in-law if I didn't call her a witch from time to time. And I'll just tell one story about the true power of my witch-like mother-in-law, Karen. Bright blue eyes, smiles Cordaro. So every summer we would go to the beach, and the Kate and Kevin and Marcus would come, and Alex and I and the kids, and Tom and Karen, and she wanted to make memories all the time. So like everything was a moment. She loved like whatever was happening. We took pictures. She was just so full of life and just wanted to do everything. And I don't know how old the kids were, but I know that Kate and I were tired. I know that we were two moms with young kids, and we were tired, and we really liked sleeping or having the opportunity to sleep. Your grandparents are there, so like you were supposed to sleep in the morning, right? Like you're not supposed to get up. The grandparents are supposed to take the kids, feed the kids, and make the dinosaur pancakes, and do all that stuff. And Karen's like, we're getting up tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., and we're going to make a memory, just the girls. And we're going to go down to the beach, and we're going to have mimosas, and we are going to see dolphins. And Kate and I are like, yeah, I'm okay, we'll see you in the morning, whatever. So, 6 o'clock in the morning. Wake up! Okay, I'm going the hallway. Kate's leaning against the wall like this. And I look at Kate, I'm like, you ready to go make memories, man? Kate's like, yeah. I'm ready. We're both like so pissed. We're just like at 6 o'clock in the morning. So we go down the stairs, and then she pulls like the old lady card. She's like, but I can't carry anything. So we get the chairs, and I think she grabs like the Prosecco and the orange juice, and we hike down to the beach, which is not close. Like we're not like, it's not just you walk down 2 steps and there's the beach. It's like you walk the quarter mile down the dune path with all the things. Anyway, we get down there at 6 o'clock in the morning. We set our chairs up. We pour some Prosecco and some orange juice in our glasses, and a pod of dolphins jumps out of the water in front of us and plays in front of us for, I don't know, half an hour. And she was a very powerful witch. She was a great guide and mentor for me in every aspect of my life, professionally, personally. I loved everything she did, and she loved all of you so much. And that's it.
Hello, I'm Thomas. I want to keep this short and sweet. As my mom just said, one of my grandmom's biggest sayings and phrases was "make memories, damn it." And she lived by that. And thinking back on some of my best memories with her, one of them I'll always remember waking up in the morning. It was probably like 5 in the morning in LBI, and my Whoopi, she's just sitting down in the living room, and she was like, "Thomas, I'm going to teach you how to play checkers." And she whooped my ass in checkers for the next like 2 hours. And I was like, "I think I know how to play now, Whoop." And then she was like, "Okay." So after that, we went upstairs and we got to watch the sunrise together at the beach. And that's always just been a very special memory for me.
Hey everyone. So for everyone who does not know me, hold on, I'm a little bit too tall. Let's see if I can raise this here. For everybody who doesn't know me, my name is Marcus. My mom is Kate, who is the daughter of my amazing, beautiful grandma. And I just want to tell you guys a little bit about how I got into the family, my life, a little bit about that. I'm not going to make it too long because there are so many stories I could sit here for hours, but I'm not going to do that. 4 months before I was born, I was adopted into our family. And I think that was the best choice that my parents could have made. This family has treated me with nothing but respect. I love everybody who's in my family. They do amazing things for me. And my grandma specifically was one of the most inspiring people in my life. Every time I'd see my grandma, she would always tell me how I had huge things ahead of me, how I was a great person, and how I could do big things. And I just want to say that how I'm speechless. I don't even have the words for it. I'm so thankful for my grandma and everything she's done for me and everything that she's done for the family. And obviously, I don't want to make it too ooey gooey and sad, but it crushes all of us to hear about her passing. But she did amazing things, and I know that this is what she would have wanted. I know she has big hopes for me, and she's looking over me, Thomas, Max, my mom, my aunt, my dad, everybody in the family. I know she has big eyes for, and she was a great person, and we're all here to remember that. That's all I have.
Hey guys, I'm Max, Tom's brother. I thought I'd tell a little story way back when. I think it was probably around 2nd or 3rd grade. Like every week we would have a guest reader come in. And it was usually like someone's dad or grandma or whatever would come in and read a story. And it always sounded like a zombie. Wasn't very exciting at all, but you know, we got off math class for it, so it was pretty great. So anyway, one week, my grandma, Whoopi, comes in on one of her sporadic visits that my mom loves so. And like one of the first things she asks is like, Max, do you have that copy of the Jabberwocky? Do you have that book? And I was like, probably it's around. She's like, oh, you should probably go find it or something. You should go find that book. Want me to read outside of school? No, I didn't look for it. Anyway, for like the entire week she keeps telling me this, like you should probably go find that book, and I had no idea why. And then one day, instead of math class, everyone in my 2nd grade class went down to the auditorium, and there she was, sitting on a stool, but she didn't have the book because I never found it. But of course, in true movie fashion, she had the whole thing memorized, and she stood up in front of everyone and acted out every single part. She was the Jabberwocky, really, and it was incredible. And like some of my friends still talk about that today, like however many years later. So I thought, for those of you who know it, we could read that or recite it out loud for her, wherever she is up there. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome rats outgrade. Beware the Jabberwock, my son. The jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the dubious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time the man's own foe he sought, so rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uppish thought he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tulgher wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through his vorpal blade went snicker-snack! He left it dead, and with its head came galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Callooh, Calais, O frabjous day, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome rats outgrave.
Hello, I'm Alex Cordaro. I don't have a poem to recite for you, I'm sorry. For everyone in this room, my mom was Mrs. C, she was Karen. For us, she was Mom. As Suze pointed out, she was Hulk Hands. Very often, when we would cook together in the kitchen, we're big. We all cook. Everyone in our family, we all cook. We all chip in. We all do stuff together, and we cook amazing meals, and we have great times. When we would cook dinners together, we would call her Underfoot because she was always right behind you to see if she could do. Can I do anything else? Can I do anything else? Can I do anything else? No, Mom. Stand a little bit. And very often, she would have a giant chef knife in her hand, point forward, standing directly behind you. So when you turn around, you turn around and you would impale yourself. So we would disarm her and give her a glass of wine and have her stand up in the corner. But she loved family, and all of y'all included. But she loved a party. She just loved a party. And every time we'd get together in the kitchen, we would cook, we would eat, we'd sing together, we'd dance, we'd make each other laugh, we'd make fun of each other in the best of ways, and support each other. And in the kitchen in Philly, in Kate and Kevin's house in Jersey, every summer at the beach, every Christmas in New Hampshire, it's always just been a joyful expression of family for us. Mom asked that her ashes, that she be cremated, and she said, we said, well, what do you want done with your ashes? And she said, just go somewhere where you all want to go and have a party, pretty much. She wasn't specific about, like, I want to be spread in North Park Lake or something like that. She said, go somewhere crazy where you haven't been and have a fantastic party. Different than our father, we had him cremated. He died all of a sudden, and we didn't have a lot of plans for that. So we buried his ashes and tried to grow a tree on top of it. And a deer came and ate all the bark off the tree, killed the tree. So we tried again. We planted a second tree on those ashes and encased it in a fence to keep the deer away. And the deer came and they ate that tree as well. So, like a lot of Sicilian men, his ashes, his remains are in a field somewhere in a shallow, unmarked grave. But Mom, however, she wanted a party, so we're going to go somewhere and scatter her ashes at the beach. The beach was always a very special place for us. And scatter her ashes, we will at sunset, probably this summer. And that's it. Thank you all so much for coming. Katie's going to come up, but thank you all so much for being a part of Mom's life and being a part of our lives. We all love you very much. Thanks.
Hi, folks. I'm Kate Cordaro. I'm going to start off with this poem that she sent me. I mean, she's sending us the poems that she wants to be read. She's a powerful witch. Epitaph by Merritt Malloy. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you can't give me away, at least let me live on in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love,
give me away. She was a lot of things to a lot of people. Oh God, she would have loved that blue light that's coming through those windows. Whew. She started off as Karen and then Care Bear. Her maiden name was Altendorfer, so that led to Alton Fender, Bender, Mrs. C, Mama C, K, KC, C-Star, C-Star, Big C, C-Ski, C-Dog, that C-Bitch, Rockstar Purple, Genovia the Queen, Dame Karen Cordaro, the anti-Karen, the Boss, Diva, Mom, Ma, super chagrin, Mamacita, Mamala, Mama Ding Dong, Trixie, sweet intelligent mother, sir, Misinformation, Beerhead, Large Marge DeBarge, Hulk Hands, Whooby, Whoop, Whoopster, Wobblicious, Whoobeth, the Woobinator, Whoop Master Flash. I'm sure there are more underfoot. Also, we were reminded today that, like, if somebody is whooping you, if you get whooped, that means that someone's standing too close to somebody when they're doing something, and then they turn around and they bump into you, you got whooped. So, take that with you. We've heard a lot of stories of how she lived her life. She spent all summer in a hospital bed looking at a digital frame, which is right over there, scrolling through pictures of you and of us. And she looked at her whole life over and over again, and she was satisfied. She was ready. And she was so happy about her life. Any of you who follow her on Facebook know that the week before she died, she was posting all kinds of things about how freaking happy she was. And I was like, you are sending the wrong message. Like, what is going on? Like, people are going to be super confused. So if you are here in any way, physically or virtually, hey, what's up? Then she loved you. It's as simple as that. And you knew it because she told you all the time. And she showed you all the time. She meant so much to all of us. The love in this room is palpable. And it was a true honor to be her daughter. One of the things that we talked about when we talked about what this was going to be, yeah, we talked about this. And she said, don't put on a show. Just have people share funny memories. And then if you have to sing something, sing To Make the World Right Again from Narnia. So we won't do that. Joe Samara, do you mind? We have the lyrics on the back of your program. Oh gosh, I hope everybody got a program. Because that's where the lyrics are.
Round of applause.